Rescue teams have recovered remains believed to be those of a missing SANDF member on the border between Mozambique and South Africa and Komatipoort in Mpumalanga. The soldier, along with a colleague, was swept away by the Nkomati River on Christmas Day while attempting to cross a low-lying bridge near the Lebombo border post. For more on this developing story, we cross live now to SABC News reporter Tumelo Machogo, who is in Komatipoort in Mpumalanga and joined by the Defence Minister, Motshekga, to just almost settle all of the questions that are now needing some answers. Tumelo, good afternoon. It's over to you.
Well, Mfundo, the Minister of Military and Defence Force, actually, the Minister of Defence and Military Veteran, visited the scene of where the two members of the SANDF were swept away on Christmas Day, but also met with the families of the two members that were swept away. One member has positively be identified, while another they are still searching for him. You understand that parts of the bodies were also found yesterday, believed to be of that of another member, but still DNA still need to take place to confirm if indeed is that of that member. But let's now speak to the Minister, Motshekga. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Just talk to us about how is the family right now, because we saw that you spoke to them and also they visited the scene. How are they coping at this moment?
No, the mother is very sad. You can see it's not. She's very sad. At least there's the elder brother who's supporting and the uncle. But the mother of the deceased, but even uncle, really, they're quite devastated. I mean, for them it's a pride to have a child who's a soldier. Now to come back with the remains, it's not something very easy to take. So, yeah, they're devastated.
What are the investigations saying? What were they doing there? And also, talk to us about also the other member that is still being searched for. How is the search going on? Because we understand that the helicopter cannot fly today due to the rain in Nelspruit.
No, what happened, and that's why I also needed to have a sense of what happens. That's a low bridge, and the tide at that time would have been just too strong to cross, but they say it's a normal patrol route. When the water is low, you can even walk across that bridge. But because the tide, and the MEC was saying, possibly because they say it's a river that comes from Swaziland, and when they have lots of water, they open the sluice. And that's why there was a huge current that just came through suddenly and just caught them on that bridge. And it was too strong, and that swept the car. So they were the usual patrol. It's a patrol car because they tell me that bridge links them up to N4. So it was the usual, they were on duty as part of their usual work. So we only have one family here whose child, the remains have been identified. From here, they're going to take them to the morgue to go and fully confirm. And then we're making arrangements as to how the body then is going to be repatriated to Mafeking, then what happens when they're in Mafeking. That's what we're discussing with them. The other family, we are in constant communication with them from the report I got from Motshekga to say we speak to them twice a day to tell them what is happening, because they're very anxious. Their biggest anxiety really is to be able to find the remains of their child so that they can find closure. So that's the sad part of it all, that we have this, our SG, our Surgeon General, also the acting Chief of Defence, working with the family and the health to make sure that we can also assist them to find closure by getting the DNA results. We hope they'll get them very soon, because the family is very anxious.
And also talk to us about the DNA. The DNA process, are they already started? Because we know that there are also other people that also die. People in this area, they say that a lot of people die in this area. They've been swept away by the rain. If maybe that body is not even of him. But when can we expect the DNA result to be given to the families?
Quite soon. We're lucky that as defense we have our own medical your medical section. So the SG is the head of our medical section, is working with his colleagues, and we do hope that we'll be able, working with them, because the body is with them, we will be able to finalize, but we have our own capacity as defense to be able to do that. But we have to work in collaboration with the hospital. But the SG is here, he can explain.
Okay, Mayor, if you can also talk to us about the mood at the Macadamia military base, because we know that you also met these members not so long ago.
It's very sad. I'm also just as sad because I was here on the 23rd. And suddenly, the 26th, 2 days after, and I met those two young people. They were on GT, and I went to one of the camps, and two of them, we interacted, we spoke, they were explaining to me what was happening. So I had the privilege of meeting them. So for me, it's very sad that just 2 days down the line, we lost them. And they were quite happy. I mean, it was a Christmas mood. We were all excited to say, we're not home, it's going to be Christmas. So we were wishing each other a very good Christmas and New Year. Then was never to be.
What is the process now going forward, especially with the body that already has been identified? What is the process? Are the military handing over the body to the families, and then the family arrange the funeral on its own, or are you going to be assisting with the funeral arrangements?
Langamanda is going to exactly detail that because it's a process in the defense, and that's what they're busy briefing the family on to say after the monk, how is the body going to be repatriated to Mafikeng. When they're in Mafikeng, what are the steps which are going to be taken? So I'll ask him to really, because they will know all the details about even the handing over and the receiving of the remains, which section now takes over, which section is going to really run with the funeral. We also have attached social workers and also chaplaincy to support and work with the family. But let me ask you to really get SG to tell you about the DNA. Then if you don't mind, we can ask Langamanda to tell you exactly what is the procedure in the defense in terms of funeral arrangements, especially if a person dies on duty, the way these young people do.
That if you can just give us your name, your full name and title, and then talk to us about what is the process now going forward from here.
Thank you. Thank you, Minister. I'm Lieutenant General Mapaha. I'm the Sergeant General of the South African National Defence Force. At the moment, I'm the acting Chief of Defence since he's on leave. As the Minister has indicated with regards to the identification of the body, the body parts that have been found, we're working together with the local health capabilities. In this case, the Tonga Hospital. We are working with their pathologists to identify the true identity of the remains that have been found. As you've indicated that in this area there are other people that may need the same services. As the Minister has indicated, as the military health services, we do have the capability, but we're working with the local medical facilities to identify the body. And we hope that the identification will be done as soon as possible, since, as you'll understand, as the family, they are anxious to know if this is their son or their relative.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. Quickly, just talk to us, Langamandla, if you can talk to us about the funeral, what's the next process now with the funeral, especially for the member that has already been identified?
Currently, the second step that is going to take place after this identification, they will go to the mortuary, they will positively identify the body. Already the service supplier will also is already identified. The next step is now to move the body, the remains, to Mafikeng, and the family will link up in Mafikeng, and then thereafter the military funeral will take place.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That was Langamandla speaking to us about the next process now that is going to take place here. We understand that the chopper cannot leave Nelspruit at the moment due to rain in that area. It can come also to continue with the search of a second member of the SANDF member. Mfundo.
Thank you very much for that update. We'll certainly touch base as the story develops. That's SABC News reporter Tumelo Machogo out in Komatipoort in Mpumalanga for us.